we're going to go to the world of blockchain gaming. This one stood out to me. I'm not super familiar with Forte, but somehow they've raised $725 million on the strength of some of the excitement around the concept of blockchain gaming and play to earn and all that jazz. So this one stands out to me. It's pretty crazy. These guys have raised 900 million in the last year, apparently, and some big firms, both in the venture world outside of crypto and within crypto, are supporting this project as blockchain gaming looks to go mainstream. I don't know who I'm going to throw this to. I'm going to throw this to Jen. I mean, when you see a number like this from a project like this, what's your initial thought? What's driving this excitement?
Well, I've never heard of this company either, but I think that if we just look at the news in the last few months, I think everyone's making their big bets on crypto and gaming and the metaverse. And so this just speaks to that. And when I think about this, I know, Zach, you weren't here yesterday, but we spoke about gamers' disdain for crypto and NFTs, the Discord community saying they absolutely do not want crypto. They do not want NFTs. And so I start thinking about the actual gaming community. If they don't want crypto and NFTs, have we created another barrier here for people? Like now, people who are not native to gaming, not native to crypto, there are these big like metaverses being built. How do we get those people there, and how do we overcome the barriers? You know, a lot of these games that are being launched, like Axie Infinity, you need money to buy the NFTs to play. And so now I think we've created a whole bunch of new barriers when it comes to gaming in the metaverse, and there's a lot of money going in to solve those problems. But I wonder what it's going to take for the mainstream non-native gamers to get there. I know I just said a big mouthful, but Will, I'm going to kick it up to you.
Looking for problems under every rock. I'm looking at this headline and seeing a lot of money. They're doing great. That's mainstream adoption right there, $725 million. And they closed a previous round in May for like $125 million. So they've made almost $1 billion on the year just in funding, which is pretty fantastic just from a startup standpoint. What I'm comparing this to is the rounds that FTX has done this year. FTX, of course, is like the exchange to talk about. Obviously, Coinbase and Binance are there, but FTX has really had a gangbusters year. Their name is on Miami Heat's arena. They're in every MLB commercial, and they raised similar amounts this year. And why is Forte in this conversation with FTX if you're just going to look at funding round numbers? Like FTX is everywhere. They have a large number of customers, especially with that Blockfolio acquisition last year. Forte, like Zach said, like Zach should know this. He's an editor for CoinDesk. Like he's in this beat, and where's Forte? I've never heard of him. He hasn't heard of him. So it's like, what are these guys? What are they doing? Nothing on Zach's name at all. More on Forte. Like I hope they spend some marketing money from this funding round. Just doesn't quite make sense to me that we're seeing this kind of numbers thrown at a project that nobody really knows about. Amy, I'll throw it down to you though.
It's interesting the point that Jen brought up about the whole Discord beef that we spoke about yesterday, where Discord really doesn't like crypto, which is weird because so many crypto communities are based on Discord. And we had the CEO of Discord saying that they might potentially integrate Ethereum via a screenshot and then rolled that back and said, no, actually, we're not going to. And then they got so much pushback from the Discord community. Because like we were talking about that in terms of how the gaming community is completely at odds with the blockchain community. And then we see numbers like this, where it's like, let's bring them together. And I wonder what that reconciliation is going to look like. Clearly, it's not everyone in the gaming community who's anti-blockchain. And clearly, it makes a lot of sense for blockchain technology to be integrated in games in the forms of like non-fungible tokens, digital assets, and all those kinds of things, because they've existed in games for forever. But the problem is that they never had real world value outside of those games. And this blockchain technology, the integration of it can add that real world value and make these exchangeable on, open marketplaces. And it just kind of adds a whole new dimension to gaming, which kind of makes it exciting. So it's always been fascinating to hear about this beef between the gaming community and crypto community. But hopefully with the numbers pouring in, they can make some awesome products, and gamers are going to go where gaming is best. So if they can create some, awesome products there, then perhaps they'll just win over the consumers and the users. But Zach, I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned FTX, Will, and FTX itself is sponsoring a big $100 million blockchain gaming fund push. So everyone here seems to be thinking that, hey, maybe there's some opportunity in this space. And I think also, venture capital firms, be it A16Z or some of these other, more traditional venture capital firms, are also kind of sipping that Kool-Aid and thinking maybe there's something there. So one to watch.